Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Here I am back with another informative video. So the topic of discussion is LLC inside a holding company, its benefits and structure guide. So you could consider adding a holding company to your management team if you have multiple LLCs or subsidiaries. A holding company can take care of the management and business interest of all companies under its supervision. As a part of the team of business consultants with over a decade of practice, I gained relevant experience managing LLCs. I conduct extensive research to provide detailed information about our holding company. We will dissect an array of topics ranging from what a holding company is to how it is formed, and look at the sum of its pros and cons. So here's the quick summary. A holding company is a parent company, usually an LLC, that purchases and fully controls the interest of another company. People opt for holding companies to control and protect their assets. According to a report by Clover, a holding company can own 100% of the subsidiary or just enough stock or membership interest to control the subsidiary. Before deciding to form one, I always like to look at the different types, including pure, mixed, immediate, or intermediate holding companies. So, what is a holding company? A holding company is basically a separate legal business entity that owns a controlling interest in other company known as subsidiary. In an limited liability company, holding company ownership of the LLC subsidiary companies is transferred from the individual members to the limited liability company. As suggested by Walter Clover's, having control of the ownership means that the holding company has enough membership interest, which could be 51% or less depending on the number of the owners, to secure owners vote. This process makes it easier for the business owners to transfer their multiple businesses from one generation to the next. A holding company structure entails a subsidiary companies assuming responsibility for manufacturing, selling, or conducting business activities. Typically, each or subsidiary operates with its own management structure, overseeing daily operations, indicating that the holding company's management primarily supervises the subsidiaries' function. The holding company's management has the authority to appoint and dismiss corporate directors or LLC managers. It is also empowered to make significant policy decisions such as determining managers or dissolutions. What are the three types of holding companies? Three types of the holding companies include the following. The first one is pure holding company. These companies seldom produce or sell any product or services. They focus on keeping the subsidiary company's stocks or the membership interest. Then comes mixed holding companies. These companies own and control subsidiaries and have their own business operations. The third one is immediate and intermediate holding companies. These companies are owned by other holding companies or the larger businesses. In the diverse landscape of American business structure, limited liability companies represent a substantial portion, with, according to the IRS statistics, an estimated count of 21.6 million across the nation. This compares to the significantly fewer 1.7 million C corporations and the comparably numerous 23 million sole proprietorships, illustrating a strong preference for the LLC model among entrepreneurs for its operational flexibility and the legal protections. What are the three ways to create and operate an LLC holding company? If you want to start a holding company for your LLC, it is easy. You can do it in several ways. The first one is make the parent company as a C corporation. You make a parent company as C corporation and establish the subsidiary as one. This is the one way to do it if you have a single member LLC. Then fill the LLC articles of organization. Another method is that if you have multiple members in your LLC, you can create the structure by filling LLC articles of the organization with the Secretary of State for your state. So you will then create an LLC operating agreement and get your LLC registered against. This is the best way to keep things organized and separate for the businesses. Then the third step is use an LLC you already have. The third and final way is to have an LLC that a holding company owns. In this case, the company would be the parent company and hold all of the assets of the LLC. This can be helpful if you want to limit the liability of the owners of the LLC. It is essential to consult with an attorney who specializes in this area to find the best solution for your specific situations. Then advantages of the holding companies. You should consider setting up a holding company for your business for many reasons. The first, some of the benefits are: the first is assets control and protection. A holding company owns the business assets of an operating company, and they are protected from any legal action taken against the subsidiary. This is because the holding company is a separate legal entity and is not responsible for actions of the individual businesses, hence separating the business assets from any other assets. These companies can also own real estate, intellectual property, and other assets, providing additional protection. The second is liability shield. In such a company structure, the holding company is a separate legal entity from the operating company, so it will not be held personally responsible for any of its decisions or obligations. This creates a separation between the family numerous businesses, which help safeguard each one's assets against being wiped out by a single liability claim. For instance, the directors of a holding company might implement a strategy for restructuring debt that is advantageous for all affiliated operating entities. Additionally, a holding company can facilitate its subsidiaries in securing more advantageous financing conditions than they might achieve independently. Then the third point is ongoing business. When a new owner takes control of a subsidiary company in a holding company structure, the business of the operating company is assumed by the holding company. This means that you may quickly shift all of your current enterprises in the operating company from one generation to the next and keep running as usual because they can be integrated without having to restart them separately. The fourth step is taxation is different. Every company aims to decrease cost as much as possible. The tax is no exemption exception. All operating firms run as separate companies with separate tax obligations from one another within the business structure. This lowers overall tax burden, making it more cost effective in the long run. For instance, structuring a holding company could lead to reduced tax rates, so these might be opportunities to form a holding company in foreign country, benefiting from lower corporate taxes. Nonetheless, regulations introduced in 2016 concerning the shift of taxes and profits to overseas locations have curtailed the advantages previously available from such arrangements. Then comes the flexibility. In a holding company structure, the business owners have much more flexibility in dealing with multiple operating companies as one business entity. The sixth option benefit is control. The owner of the holding company has much more control over the operating company and its subsidiary businesses. If you want to diversify your business or change the direction, it is much easier to make that action with a management team consisting of only one person than 7 to day-to-day business operation. Similar to any business, when it comes to make decisions, you must remember that the owner of the holding company has complete control over all subsidiaries and the operating companies. If an individual want to change the business or realize new opportunities, they must do so through the leading company. What are the disadvantages? First is increased cost, then more paperwork. Third one is separate tax returns, then owners control. The last one is outside owners. So that was all about the holding company LLC as a holding company, its benefits, how to form it, and its disadvantages. Hope this will have been beneficial for you. So do subscribe the channel for more videos.